Hello. How is everyone doing? I hope you had a fantastic weekend. But alas, it's Monday. But hey, we are back with the live stream. Thank you so much for joining me today. Just give me a second to set some things up here. Need to get the chat window open if I can. Okay, this one's fine. How about Twitch? Twitch, where are you? There it is. You there, you there. Okay, I think we're good. Just get the other window here. All right, awesome. So yeah, today we are going to do something slightly different. We are not going to work on the text to ads project, maybe for the first hour, depending on how it goes, because here's the thing. I have this project in my day job that requires me to use jobs and queues, and specifically batched jobs. So I realize I don't remember much about jobs and queues. I haven't done that in a while now. So I thought maybe we could refresh our knowledge about jobs and queues and batching jobs, etc. So we can spend the first hour of the stream just practicing. If you are new to Laravel and you want to learn about jobs and queues, well, this is a good chance to do that. If you already know about that, well, maybe you need a refresher. Maybe you forget something about it, or if you know everything about it, just sit back and relax and enjoy the stream. But I do need to practice, so I will give you like the high level. Obviously, I'm not going to share any code from my actual job, but I'm going to give you the high level idea of what I'm supposed to do. Why do I keep seeing a shadow of myself down here? Oh, it's obvious. Is it obvious? Oh no, it's this thing. Oh, you can't see it. Never mind. All right, so let me open a notepad here. Oh, this air conditioning is not doing anything today. Hold on, one sec. All right, let's add a new tab here. So create new note. Let's call this jobs practice. So the basic idea is this. I need to create an application that basically goes and fetches, let's say, financial data or sales data for a bunch of companies. Let's imagine that we have a business that sells to different companies, and I need to gather all of the sales numbers so that then I can create a like a report for the high end. So what I need to do is create an application that will, for each of those companies that we sell, go and fetch the sales numbers, like how much sales did we do to that, and how much revenue did we get. So for each one of those, imagine that we have like 100 or 50 companies, and we need to run specific queries for those, or maybe they have APIs where we need to go and fetch data from them. We're not going to do that, but we encapsulate the business end of that company into a class that will take care of everything, like a little black box, but I need to batch jobs that will take that black box and do whatever that black box do, and then store the results in database. That's basically it. Hi Shane, how you doing, man? Thank you for being here. So nice to see you. So yeah, let's call it sales queue. So imagine that we have like a class or something that, let's call it, I don't know, stats class, right? And this basically will be like the black box. This one will go and fetch, this will take care of just doing whatever it is to gather, let's call it sales, total sales, and maybe revenue. So I need to take that class and basically dispatch a job that takes the stats class as a parameter and store the results in the database. Something like that. Okay. Thing is, I need to, let's imagine we have like 20 companies, for example. That means that we will have 20 stats classes, instances of that, that will run and do whatever they do. And for each one of them, I will get the results and then store them in the database. And I need those to run in a queue. So I need to batch all 20 stats classes using the queue. So the components that I need is basically, well, I need a queue to run that comes with Laravel. I need a job class that will take in this stats class. Let's call it different, something company. Company stats. I need a job that will basically take care of, I will dispatch this, a series of jobs that take in a class. And I also need to run a batch, or actually what I need is a task. The way that we can actually create tasks that we can schedule on a regular basis. And then the task, every time we run the task will gather all of the company stats that we need to run basically, batch them and dispatch them. So this will be a task to dispatch all jobs. The reason that we need a third class in this case is because this part of the process, it's actually legacy PHP code. So that's already created and it works. I just need to create an instance of that company stats class, which is in legacy PHP code, and just execute one method in that class And when that method executes, something in that class changes. We will use probably just one property, and that will basically capture the idea. So when the job finishes, let me turn off notifications. That's going to be annoying. When that job finishes, then I have to take the results out of that class and store them in the database. If I didn't have that piece of legacy PHP code, I would probably do whatever I need to do directly in the job class because I would have access to database, etc. But in this case, I have one extra layer of code that I don't want to change because it's already working. So it's kind of grabbing something that is already working, but it's doing its thing sequentially on a for loop and taking that for loop and putting it in a job queue, if that makes sense. So why don't we crack open a new PHP project? Let's do that. So Laravel new, let's call it stats jobs. Let's call it job. Sorry, let's call it jobs. No starter kit. Everything here will be done via the command line. So we don't need a UI. So no starter kit. Pest is fine. I will share this later. So yeah, let's create a GitHub repo. Oh, I have Xdebug running. Forgot I had that. See if I can turn that off. I have a bunch of stuff here opened. That'll be in herd. Open configuration files 8.2. And let me disable this. Did you know that that's the only thing that you need to do in order to enable Xdebug? Just 4 lines of code in the ini file. If you didn't know, and if you're on Mac, by the way, this is because of the send extension URL. All you need to do is add these 4 lines of code to your configuration file, and you saw me how easy it is to find them. You just go to herd, open configuration files, and then you have all of them here for all of the PHP versions that you have. So you can enable and disable this on a PHP version basis. In my case, I was working with 8.2. So you just come here and find the extension for Xdebug, which already comes with herd. In my case, it's on applications, herd app, contents, resources, Xdebug, and you look for the Xdebug version that matches your PHP version. And then you add the mode, debug, develop, start with the request, yes, and start upon error, yes. And then the next time you run a request, you just start your Xdebugger on VS Code, set a breakpoint, and then you run your web application and it just works. So if you didn't know, now you know. Right, let's save that. And how is this going? SQLite, yes. I'm going to, in order for jobs to work, you need to have a couple of tables. Basically a jobs table and a failed jobs table. And those two already come pre-installed with the migrations for those tables already come with every new installation of Laravel. So when you run, would you like to run the default database migrations? Yeah, whenever you run the migrations, in this case, I'm using SQLite, you can see that actually it only needs, one table, the jobs table. All right. We have our new application. cd into jobs and let's start coding. Oop, that's too much. There you go. So let's break this down into small chunks. And let's start with the task. We're going to need a task that runs in intervals. So let's go and check the documentation for tasks. Task scheduling. Okay, so defining schedules. Hold on. Laravel's command scheduler offers a fresh approach to managing scheduled tasks on your server. The scheduler allows you to fluently and expressively design your command schedule within your Laravel application itself. This is basically so that you don't have to use a cron tab and manage all of your tasks with cron tabs. Just one cron tab for the actual application, and that's it. When using scheduler, only a single cron entry is needed on your server. Your task schedule is typically defined in your application's routes console.php. Okay, let's define a schedule actually. So this will be in a route file. Let me see. Routes console. Here we go. We have this artisan command inspire. No. So we just need to create a new schedule. You can use invocable objects as well. Scheduling artisan commands. Scheduling queue jobs. Scheduling shell commands. I thought there was something related to tasks. Hold on. Task schedule. That's where I am right now. Maybe we can just do everything inside of the schedule callback function. Yeah. So let's do that. So let's start with a schedule. Is that the right class? Illuminate support facades. Luis Alberto Cabellos Cabero. Saludos desde Guayaquil, Ecuador. Hi, man. How you doing? Thank you for joining me all the way from Ecuador. So nice to have you here. So yeah, that wasn't the right class. Let's try that again. Schedule support facades. And let's use call. This will have a function here. And then we can use the any of the many helpers to define what is the schedule for this task. Let me go to the available one. So there are many. You can even use a cron expression if you want to. This is actually something that we actually use at my job. We have a bunch of tasks and we have just cron expressions for them. But in this case, let's run it every 5 seconds, just so that we can see what's happening. So we have a scheduled task or a scheduled call that will execute every 5 seconds. I'm going to get rid of this one, just so it's not distracting. Okay. I believe there is one command that I have to run in order for the schedule to work. I'm just looking for that. Between constraints, truth, test constraint, no. I think this would be important because maybe you have a command that takes more than five. What if the first task takes more than 5 seconds to complete? So you would want the next iteration to not start until the first one ends. So that's why these without overlapping exist. So I'm going to use this. By default, multiple tasks scheduled at the same time will execute sequentially based on the order that they are defined in your schedule. If you have a long running task, this may cause the subsequent tasks to start much later than anticipated. If you would like to run the task in the background so that they may all run simultaneously, you may use the run in the background method. Yeah, I don't want that. Maintenance mode. Okay, this is the one. Run the scheduler. So I need to use this cron tab. Well, actually, we could just manually execute this in the console. So when using Laravel scheduler, no, that's not how it goes. We need to add a single cron configuration entry to your server that runs so this command needs to run continuously every second. That's what this cron expression is. So it's the cron expression and then the sequence of commands that need to execute. So one is to get into your project folder and then run the artisan schedule run and just throw every output into the void. We need to do that. How do we add things to the cron? I need to look into that. I don't remember. Let me look for that. Hmm. Oh, this one. Cron tab E. Let me check. Thank you. I haven't done this in a while. So if I do cron tab E, that'll be edit. Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. So that means I just need to go back to the documentation. Copy this. Paste it. Your computer, yeah, allow. There you go. So if I do cron, I know that cron tab L would, okay, there it is. Perfect. I should have changed the path, shouldn't I? Okay, let's do it again. You can use artisan schedule work locally instead of a cron tab, if I remember correctly. Oh, really? Let's try that, because yeah, that'll be better. So let's just delete that. And verify. So PHP artisan schedule work. Okay, every minute well, do I have the option to do more than 1 minute? Let me see. It's got to be here in the documentation, right? Yeah, here it is. Schedule work. No, seems to be no extra options. But that's fine. I think that's fine. All I need to know is that as soon as that works, as soon as that scheduled task kicks off the first time, I just need to check all of the things that I need to do for the batch jobs. So as soon as I dispatch a batch of jobs, they all start running because I also have a queue worker. So the queue will take care of just executing all of the jobs in the batch sequentially, and I will just make sure that they will do what they're supposed to do. In fact, I'm going to open another tab here and just start the queue. Okay. Oh, you know what? I should also bring in, because I'm guessing I'm going to be doing, in order to test this, I'm going to be using the log, logging things. So let's bring in pale or pale. I don't remember. Pale. Yeah. Oh, that's also already in the docs. Isn't it? Logging. Okay. Let's install it. Composer require. All right. So I have the queue, and now I'm gonna wait for a moment before I run the task. Maybe I should do this in here. It'll be better. Okay, let's try this just to make sure that things are working. I'm going to use a log info here just to display the message. Okay, so let's run Pale here. Actually, it's PHP artisan Pale. Oh, something's wrong. Schedule event name is required to prevent overlapping. Use the name method. Oh, okay. Name. Let's call this that's. Okay. And if I come here and do PHP artisan schedule work, work. Didn't see anything. So it's going to wait until the next minute to run my thing. I have to sit here for a minute. Well, I don't like that. Oh, there it is. Was that a minute? Yeah, it was a minute. And now it's running every 5 seconds. Okay. The one thing that I don't like is that I have to wait a full minute for it to start running. Who's that? I'm not gonna even attempt, but thank you for subscribing. Okay, so that's fine. Stop this. Actually, let's not stop this. Let's stop Pale, actually. What happens if I change something here? It's not going to take effect unless I stop the schedule. Yeah, unless I stop the schedule. Okay, there you go. Because I deleted every 5 seconds, it only ran once. Cool. Okay, let me stop that. This clear, clear. Okay, I'm gonna add the. Let's just leave it like that. Less clutter, just once. Now we have a task. It can run in intervals. Every interval that we want. That task is going to instance a bunch of legacy classes that I then need to pass into a job. So let's try something. I'm going to go here and I'm just going to create a file in app. Let's call it company. Company stats.php. Didn't want to do that. Now let's say that this one has, let's just use a public property. Let's call it total sales. Set that to 0 to start. We're also going to have a public, let's say we have a company name. Actually, you know what? Let's do this instead. Public construct. And we're going to have a public int sales. It's got to be public function, right? And public string name. You know what? Should probably just leave the name first, and then public int sales equals 0. Okay, so we have a bare bones class that has two attributes, a company name and a total sales. Total sales will be modified inside the batched job, the dispatched job, and the name will be using to identify, okay, we need just to see in the logs which class executed, and once it's finished, which one do we have to put in the database. So just to make sure that everything aligns. So we're going to have a name passed into the constructor here. So the next thing I want is a job. Let's head into the documentation for jobs. Oh, very easy. PHP artisan make job and then the job name. Let's try PHP artisan make job. Call it company. That's run company stat. I think they use the convention here for the most part is that a job should start with a verb, like process and then podcast. So let's keep that. Run company stats. Okay. Now we need to modify that job class so that we can take in a public company stats company. Elivardo Silva. Hi, man. How you doing? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. It's so nice to see you here. So yeah, so this would create, since I'm doing public and then type in here, this will automatically create a public property in this job class, and it's going to be named company. Then we have the handle. Let's try something just to make sure that we can pass this into the job when it's dispatched and we have access to the company's data. Let's do log info for, and let's pass in the company. It'll be this company name. All right, let's see. Now we can go back to the task. Let's remove that. And let's say, how do we dispatch? So let's create one company. Let's pass this company A. and then do run company stats dispatch. And the arguments, I'm assuming, can just pass in the company, right? Let me check. So like they are passing in a podcast here. And then handle audio processor. I don't know what this is for. Dispatching jobs. Okay, yeah. So you just run dispatch and pass the class into dispatch. Okay. So what happens if we run this? The queue is running, right? It's not. Is it? Yeah, queue is running. I don't need this window. So here's the queue. Here's Pale. And then we just do PHP artisan schedule work. And we wait a minute. Can you believe that Flux has been out for a week officially? Did you guys catch the live stream from Caleb today? So many good things. Like seeing the meat behind all of the components and how they whoa, company stats not found. Okay. I thought I imported that. Probably not. Okay, stop that. Thank you. Ah, I know why. Yeah, that would actually work. The thing is, I want to later on we're going to dispatch a batch of this, and also all of the new class names. They're going to be they're going to be in an array. So something like instead of just new class name, I'm going to have an array of class names because they come from a database table. If that makes sense. But yeah, that could work too. I mean, if we want to compress the code a bit, that also works. I forgot to add the what is it? Namespace. Yeah, that's fine. No problem. It's very specific to my needs, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a bunch of new classes in an array. It's just the thing that I need for the specific case that I'm practicing on. But yeah, don't worry about it. Can I import it now? There you go. Remove this from there. Save that, and let's try that again. Pale is running. Let's run the scheduler. think I'm gonna moving on. I think I'm gonna go with the cron tab. I apologize. Hi, bro. How you doing? I would like to pronounce your name correctly. Sheriar? Sheriar. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. Okay, type error. Argument 1, company must be of type. Okay. You know what? Let's add the entry to the cron tab so that it runs every second. I can't do this like that. Can you tell me how to add Apple Pay in Laravel project? I would like to tell you, but I don't know, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. Does it have to be Apple Pay? Because you could use a pay provider like a Paddle or Stripe. You can't run it every second? I thought I could. So it, hold on. Does that mean that wait, what happened to this page? Every minute. Dang it. Okay. Never mind. We'll do it like this. You two have a nice day as well. Sorry I couldn't help you more. Every minute. All right. So the problem was that there is a type error because on the job itself, I didn't import the company stats class either. So here. There. Oh, come on, hurry. Is that the longest minute ever? Okay, what happened? It ran, but I didn't see anything on the log. You can also use artisan schedule test name. Oh, so run it right away. Yeah, why didn't the handle? Oh, okay, let me check the queue. Yeah, it did run. Why didn't I see anything on the here? Hmm. Okay, hold on. You stop, you stop. Yeah, there it is. It just didn't show up on Pale. All right. Okay. Let's try that again with your scheduled task. Scheduled task? What? Scheduled task. Let's see. So if I do, let me clear this again. Let's run Pale. Clear here and then do PHP artisan. What is it? Schedule test name. Oh, the name. Okay. So the name is this stats. Got it. So it ran. It's so weird that it's not showing on Pale. I don't know why. Q worked. Use jobs with Q work. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Maybe because this isn't a queue in a job, it's not gonna show, but I can see it in the logs. That's the good thing. There it is. So maybe instead of using Pale, why don't we use good old Tail? Horizon? Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up using Horizon just to monitor all of the queues and the failed jobs, etc. I don't know if we'll have time to do it here, but we'll see. But yeah, Horizon is one of the things that I have in my mind that I want to use. So let's do tail dash f and then storage logs Laravel log. Doesn't look as pretty, but we can at least see the results. So if I run that again, there it is. Okay, so little by little. We have a task. Close this. We have a scheduled task. We can run it at intervals that we want, as often as 1 per minute. And we have a job that takes in an instance of a class made in legacy PHP. And we can access the information on that class. Let's try and do a batch. Oh, we need an extra table. Laravel's job batching feature allows you to easily execute a batch of jobs and then perform some actions when the batch of jobs has completed executing. Before getting started, you should create a database migration to build a table which will contain the metadata information about your job batches, such as their completion percentage. Well, that's interesting. This migration may be generated using the make queuable batches table. Let's run that. It already exists, so it ran already. That means that that was already there. Database migrations, create cache table. That's gotta be it. The cache table. To define a batchable job, you should create a queuable job. Already have it as a normal. However, you should add the illuminate bus batchable trait into the job class. This trait provides access to a batch method, which may be used to retrieve the current batch that the job is executing within. So we need this trait. Let's go to the job and let's add batchable, like so. Cool. So that means that we can analyze the batch that we are currently running in, just in case maybe if the batch is canceled or something, like this example here. To dispatch a batch of jobs, you should use the batch method of the bus facade. Of course, batching is primarily used when combined with completion callbacks. So you may use the then, catch, and finally methods to define completion callbacks for the batch. Each of these callbacks will receive an illuminate bus batch instance when they are invoked. In this example, we will imagine that we are queuing a batch of jobs that each process a given number of rows from a CSV from a CSV file. So in my example, I'm just running the same job, but passing a different company instance. And I love this before progress, then catch finally, because so progress, I think I need to use progress when a single job has completed successfully, but I only have access to the batch, not the job. Hmm. So I'm guessing everything has to be done in the job. Boy, oh boy, losing my voice. So I don't have access to the job class here when there is progress, only to the batch. But does the batch? Huh. I was half expecting that I would have access to the job instance on every progress. The batch's ID, which may be accessed via batch ID property, may be used to query the Laravel command bus for information about the batch after it has been dispatched. Okay. Since batch callbacks are serialized and executed at a later time by Laravel queue, you should not use this variable within the callbacks. In addition, since batch jobs are wrapped within database oh, okay. That I could use. That is very useful. Since batch jobs are wrapped within database transactions, database statements that trigger implicit commits should not be executed within the jobs. I don't think I'll have that because all I'm going to be doing is doing inserts on every job. So, okay, so the job will take the information from the class after that company class or that stats class has run whatever it has to do, and it will get the total number of sales and then put that along with the company name in a database table. And that all will happen within a database transactions, meaning that if that job fails at some point, it's not going to commit anything to the database. So nothing will be saved. I think that's good. So let's try this. This imaginary scenario. So let's imagine that in the handle, every job will do, let's just gather in sales for company name. Yes, that's fine. Let's just sleep for a random number of seconds, maybe between 2 and 5 seconds. Just to test that every job will have a different length. Well, sometimes the company stats may take more time to run than others. So we're going to sleep for a random number of seconds. And then we are going to actually, let's do something else. I'm going to do this. Hold on. I'm going to do this company. I don't know. Run. And that will take however many seconds it has to take. And then at the end, I'm just going to log. And this, I'm logging it, but this is where I would be doing database savings, like database inserts with whatever information I get with the process that took place in the run method. Hamad, how you doing, man? So nice to see you. So let's do info again, and let's do this. Total sales for this company name. And let's put here this company sales. So yeah, this here, let's actually add a comment. PHP legacy code. So that class is just legacy code that does stuff to get information, and then it updates itself. And then after that is done, I just need to save information in the database, right? Now I just need this run command here. So all I'm going to do is let's add a public run method, and all I'm going to do is change the sales number to a random integer. So this sales to rand. that a thing? Yeah. Between 100 and 1000. Whatever. Now let's do the batching. So let's create, just for this scenario, let's do three instances. So company A, not here. Here. Company A to company B, and then company C. Now we create a batch, which is equal to bus. What's the class here? Illuminate bus batch. Illuminate support facets bus. Bus batch, that'll take an array. And we're going to do new job. Yeah. So that'll be new run company stats. This one will have company A. Company B. And company C. And then at the end, we can use, we're not going to do any hooks just now. We just need dispatch. Actually, let's do finally. Finally, which is a callback function, takes in a batch. Let's just say log info batch. Then let's put the batch ID here. Has finished. Now, of course, we need to do dispatch here. Oop, not that. Okay, so create a batch object. Do anything that you need to do before, during, or after. Then finally, when everything's done, then dispatch. Let's see how that works. So that kind of worked. I have, so this happened, but I'm guessing I'm missing something. So company stats. This never ran. Or at least I never saw it. Hey, the Jade man, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. So nice to see you. Yeah, what happened to the rest of the logs? Hmm. 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 I have the feeling that I'm gonna need to bring back Xdebug because I really want to see what's happening in there. Mr. Magnetic, hi, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. Hello, hello. I'm gonna call you OG. Hi, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. Is there ever a case where you need to restart a PHP server? You mean like the whole server? Or just the PHP service? I was testing Laravel 2, getting some weird error on my test. Now leaving the test, it is taking too much time. Well, yeah, if something is getting in your way, just get past it. You can always go back to it. Unknown format JSON. That is a weird error, to be honest. How do you not know JSON? It's JSON. I'm gonna stop this here. And I'm going to enable Xdebug. Now, back and let's put a breakpoint here. Do I not have a launch.json? Okay, create one. Should be all right. Let's see. Actually, just to make sure that it is working, close that. Let's go back to the console. And let's put a breakpoint here as well. Okay, that's working. So let's run that. Hmm. Why didn't it stop? Let me take a look at the queue. Running down, running down. Why? Hmm. This is strange. This log info never goes into the log. take away that sleep. I mean, it is running and it finishes. It never gets to that point. That is really, really odd. Have you used DevSense PHP VS Code extension? I just tried it this, what is it? Was it yesterday? I tried it yesterday. It's not bad, but this would be like the most insignificant reason for someone to not use it, but I don't know why. It was giving me like 3 orange dots in one specific if statement. And because I didn't like how that looked, I just said, no, I'm good with intelligence and uninstalled it. But it's good. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you that much. It's really good. I tried it for a while. That little thing, I don't know why it bothered me so much, and I didn't know what it meant or what it was. So I switched back. But yeah, I did try it. I'm waiting for the other one, the one announced in Laracon. The what was it? The Laravel extension, the official Laravel extension. That one I will use for sure. What happens if I don't do this? Yeah, for sure. If it's giving you more productivity, that's always good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, what happens if I do that? Hmm? 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 Are you kidding me right now? Are you throttling the info calls for some reason? What? Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. What the heck was that? Did you go away? I need a clean slate. I'm running this. I saved this. Okay, so tail that again. Okay, create it then. Actually, no, just do that. Run it. Now there should be a file anytime now. Where is the log file? Does it not create a freaking log file? Why are you not working the way I want you to? Hmm? Why are you being difficult? Oh my god. I don't even get this has finished thingy. Did you ever just analyze your entire development life in one single moment? I'm trying to register a listener in Laravel 11 and I can't. It's more easily create an event service provider. Okay. Yeah, I think I've had problems with that too. That kind of rings a bell. Okay, that worked. Why did any of this? I'm dispatching the cat. Damn thing. All right, I can't tell if you're doing anything or not. I'm gonna stop you, clear, and start it again. Every freaking job has a handle. Every handle has a log. Total sales for this company name, this company sales. Every time I create a company stats, I set this to nothing. Oh no, it has a value 0 and company A. Boy, oh boy. Okay, so why is this little guy not working? Can I not use log on a queue job? Oh, now you do. Okay. God, give me patience because I might lose it. Okay, that one worked. I don't know why, but that one worked. Can you just. Yeah, there. Thanks. See, why are you logging test again? I just. Oh no, it's there. Okay, okay. Thought I deleted it. I didn't. That was on me. I apologize. So now that that's working, can we get the other working too, please? So if I go to run company stats and then I do that, can you give me different numbers for company sales? Will that be too much to ask? Apparently so. Is the queue what's screwing me over? Because everything started working when I stopped the queue. I think it's the queue. Let's stop the queue. Stop the queue. Clear. Run the queue. Give me patience in Portuguese. Me dé paciencia. Dame paciencia, Dios mío. God, give me patience. Okay, so now the queue is working. I think it's the queue. Hopefully it's the queue. So this one I'll leave it running. It has nothing to do with PHP. And then run the damn thing in. And hopefully I get different. Okay, now I'm not. Who told you this? It's the queue. It's the freaking queue. If you don't restart the queue, I don't get the changes that I just did to my files. How is that going to work then? Oh, every time I publish a change to my code, the deploy script will have to restart the freaking queue. Okay. Okay. We use continuous integration with GitHub and we have deployment scripts. So I'm glad you're laughing because I'm about to. So yeah, we use continuous integration. At least we're here to laugh. I mean, every time we push a commit to a branch in our code, then GitHub will trigger a deploy in our continuous integration, and there is a script that we run. So that means that if I am to implement this, I need to be sure that every time I push a change that will change the job itself, the queues need to restart. And now I have this. See, I have a breakpoint here. I have a breakpoint in my company stats, and that's working. So if I just keep going, it probably just never worked. So let me just get that breakpoint off. In fact, I'm going to disable Xdebug. I don't need it anymore. Okay. Stop that queue again. Oh yeah, failed. What killed it? I don't know. What killed it? Give me a sec. Um, Table plus. Table plus. I'm interested in what about supervisor? I don't know what you're asking about. Let's open that database real quick. New connection. SQLite. No, I said new connection. Thank you. SQLite. Let's find. This will be jobs. Select the file. Herd. Jobs. Database. SQLite. Connect. So we have a failed jobs here. Oh, timeout. Okay, makes sense. So yeah, I think by default, all the queue jobs will have like a 30-second timeout. So if it takes more than that, because I was using Xdebug, then that obviously took longer to finish, and then the timeout caused an exception. Okay, got it. So that's gone. Stop. And did I restart the queue? No. Queue work. And I had some in the chamber. Oh, there you go. Total sales A, B, and C. So A failed on the last run, but B and C were still in the queue. And now we can see different numbers for each company, and then a UUID for the batch, and then it finished. See, this was good. I didn't know about the queue. Now I'm going to be careful about that. I don't know what else do I need to test in this scenario, because yeah, I mean, I'll just have one of these scheduled every minute, maybe. All of these company names or company classes will be generated into an array. So companies. So yeah, all the companies will be in an array, and then I can just iterate over that and create an array of new jobs for each company. Let's do that actually. For each companies as, why are you like this? Company. And then I'm going to have an array of jobs. So for each one of those, I'll have a new run company that's with whatever company that is. Don't even need the batch. variable. And here, you can just pass the jobs array. Restart the queue. Run the scheduled task. You stay there. Run the scheduled task. And we have a problem. Array to string conversion. What? Oh, jeez. I'm going to get rid of the log. Get a new one. Run that thing. It doesn't create a new one. That's awesome. Oh, I never. Yeah, I did. What's happening? I broke something. It's not processing any jobs. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There we go. Okay. That kind of covers what I wanted to practice. I hope it was useful for you. I know it's kind of specific and very much tailored to my specific requirements, but we covered a lot of stuff, and we saw how something that seems simple in the surface can have many branches that will affect the end result. I didn't know about the queue, that you have to restart the queue every time you make changes to your jobs class. That would have probably bit me in the ass when PHP artisan queue clear. So that would be the command that I have to run. What if I do it here? Hold on. No, actually, that wouldn't work because that would clear all of the queued jobs. It would not restart the. So what happens is when this is running, that means there is an instance of PHP running. And that instance of PHP has all of the code as it was. So if I make changes to the code, to the jobs class, that change will not take effect while the queue is running. If I run queue clear, all I'm doing is I'm clearing all of the jobs that are ready to run or are queued to run. I'm not refreshing the PHP instance that is running with the queue. So that's why it has to be just stop the queue and then start again. I wonder if there is any mention of this in the documentation. Anything related to queue restarting or anything like that? Connections versus queues, drivers, job middleware, dispatching, job chaining, job batching, already saw that. Queue enclosures, running the queue worker. So Laravel includes an artisan command that will start a queue worker and process new jobs as they are pushed into the queue. So queue clear will clear that queue, not the process, not the worker itself. So to keep the queue work process running permanently in the background, you should use a process monitor such as supervisor. Oh, was that supervisor? Was that what you were mentioning about supervisor? Yeah, there it is. Ang Fang Hey. You mentioned supervisor and I didn't know what that meant. Queue restart. I don't know if there is a queue restart. That's why I'm trying to read through this. There's probably, yeah, it's probably one. So so we need to use supervisor. Let me read into this real quick. Open link in new tab. Supervisor configuration. Oh, in production, you need a way to keep your queue work process running. Sorry. A queue work process may stop running for a variety of reasons, such as an exceeded worker timeout or the execution of the queue restart. So the queue restart will stop the queue. Okay, that makes sense. For this reason, you need to configure a process monitor that can detect when the queue work process exit and automatically restart it again. In addition, process monitors can allow you to specify how many queue work processes you would like to run concurrently. Oh, that means that I could have different queue processes, and maybe those could be for different queues. So like I can have different queues, maybe for different queue priorities, or maybe different queue schedules. Huh. So supervisor is a process monitor commonly used in Linux. I wouldn't be surprised if we already have that. And we will discuss how to configure it in the following documentation. Installing supervisor is a process, so sudo apt get install supervisor. There's a configuration here with a process name. I'm almost sure that we already have this in production. Auto restart, stop as group, kill as group, etc., etc. Once the configuration file has been created, you may update the supervisor configuration and start the processes using the following commands. Sudo supervisor ctl reread update start. So this start will be the Laravel worker. Okay, makes sense. Going back. Remember, queue workers are long-lived processes and store the booted application state in memory. This is what was kicking me in the butt. The application state in memory, meaning that when it's running, it's gonna take the code and compile it into memory, and it's gonna stay like that. And none of the changes that I do will take effect unless you restart that queue worker process. As a result, like I was saying, just keep reading, they will not notice changes in your code base after they have been started. So during your deployment process, be sure to restart your queue workers. Maybe this would have saved me a lot of time if I read this first. In addition, remember that any static state created or modified in your application will not be automatically reset between jobs. Alternatively, you may run the queue listen command. When using the listen command, you don't have to manually restart the worker when you want to reload your updated code or reset the application state. However, this command is significantly less efficient than the queue work command, so not for production. I should have started using that since the beginning. To assign multiple workers to a queue and process jobs concurrently, I don't know if I need that. Should simply start multiple queue work processes, or maybe I will. This can either be done locally via multiple tabs or in your terminal, or in production using the process manager configuration settings. You may use the numprox configuration value to start multiple workers. Okay. All right. Yep. So yeah, that's I think the morale here is read the documentation thoroughly. Yeah. Well, in use listen, but not in production, because it's very, as the documentation states, is less efficient. So if you're going to use listen, use it locally so that you don't have to do what I just did and restart the freaking queue every time you change something in code. But in production, don't do listen. Maintenance mode. Okay. While your application is in maintenance mode, no queue jobs will be handled. That's important. The jobs will continue to be handled as normal once the application is out of maintenance mode. Okay, got it. And if you want to force your queue jobs to work even if in maintenance mode, just use the force option. Queue priorities. Here we go. Okay, so you can choose which queue the job goes into using the on queue. So you can have multiple queues and give different priorities to those. This is actually the queue name. So when you start a queue, you can start different queues, high, low. So to start a worker that verifies all the high queue jobs are processed before continuing out. Oh, this is the priority. So we have a queue worker with two different queues, one high, one low, and these are processed in this order from left to right. Very, very, so many things that I didn't know. I thought it was a lot simpler. God, I did this practice. Okay, so that has been, we're almost at 2 hours. Wow. Okay, time flies. I guess we'll work on the text to ads next Wednesday. I hope this rant about jobs and queues and etc. was of any use to you. I hope so. And if it was, then well, just consider leaving me a like down there. And if you haven't subscribed already, you can do so now. I'll wait. No, just kidding. I won't. But just go down there and then click subscribe. And if you haven't followed me on Twitch, I just started live streaming on Twitch recently, so I would really appreciate a follow on there too if you can. And yeah, I think we're gonna stop here and we'll continue with our project on Wednesday. So as always, see you in the next one. Let's see if we can find someone to raid. That's always fun. Let's see. Raid. Where is it? Here. We have a couple of options here. How about we go with this guy, CM Griffin. He does a lot of JavaScript web development, and I think you're gonna like him. So yeah. Okay, bye. Thank you so much. If you're on Twitch, stay put.